a ton for the starting lineup this year, but someone that you guys are going to need because of her three-point shooting. Just how have you seen her kind of fit into the team that you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, she's another one of those, by their fourth year, really knows what we're trying to do on the floor. She's always been a really high IQ basketball player. She is executing it at a very high level right now in practice. She has really improved her defensive game as well. That was always kind of a thing last year. We'd have to, the last couple of years kind of worry about knowing what she'd bring offensively, kind of figure out where to put her, hide her on the defensive end. But she's taken some really good strides in that area. She is consistently in shape, can play 40 minutes, can play all practice. And go hard the whole way through. So she's just kind of a steady Eddie. You know what you're going to get out of her. She never tries to do too much. She's really quickened up her ability to get her shot off, and she's hunting for it a lot more intentionally, not just what's the word I'm looking for? Okay with taking the open one. She's going to take some with the hand in her face. She's going to take some rushing off a screen, and she knows we need her to do that.
And then you have Addie Deal. Obviously, there's a ton of expectations for her by the fan base. Just what kind of role do you see her filling this year? Do you think she's going to be a starting lineup type player?
Yeah, we're still, like Jen mentioned, we're still working through a lot of that, trying to figure that out. We still got a good 2.5 weeks before we have to get out in front of our fans. She's certainly going to be a piece. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but she's going to certainly play some minutes at the guard positions, both the 1 and the 2, and try to work her in wherever we can. I've mentioned she's really, really high IQ. She's a great shooter. We got to get her up to speed, Big Ten level defensively, but that's always the case with freshmen, right? It's a whole new world when you start to get into some of the pace and the speed and the schemes that people do as well too. So she's still really learning, taking a lot in. We've got to get to that point with her where she can just really unleash and play, and that certainly will be happening here in the next couple of weeks.
Is she the most versatile guard that you guys have? She could probably play the 3 as well, right?
Yeah, she probably could, yeah. She's pretty versatile. I would say, Kylie's really versatile too. Taylor Stremlo is also, really versatile as far as she can play the 1 through, if we let her in 4 positions for us too. But Addie, certainly a lot of times when they're freshmen, we try to keep them to a couple positions versus overloading their brain. She's somebody in the future I could see definitely being able to play quite a few positions for us on the floor.
And then last thing, let them go. I forgot to ask Lysandra about Tegan Molain.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you about it. What have you seen from her? I know last year her three-point shooting was nowhere near what she's capable of.
Right.
Rebounded very well for you guys. So just what have you seen from her this summer, and what do you think she can be for this team this year?
She's made a great jump, huge jump. Certainly she can shoot the ball. She looks more confident in doing that. And again, with her, we need her to be consistent in her three-point shooting, which is a strength of hers. But she has rebounded like crazy. She did well last year, but she has done a great job every single time in practice of going up after those boards really hard. She's understanding what we're trying to do. I think she's being more physical, certainly on her takes, her finishes to the basket, and then on the defensive end as well. So she's just, steadily kind of climbing the charts for us each day. She's showing up. That's the biggest thing in what we're trying to do, and the biggest thing sometimes for the newcomers to learn. I know she would say it was hard for her last year, is just the consistency of effort that you have to have, effort and focus every single day, especially when we get 30 days to go against ourselves in practice before we get to compete. So she's really, really been looking good in that area as far as consistency and how she's showing up.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
What's allowed Taylor Stremlo to kind of step up and become a glue player, a culture player, and a leader so quickly in her career?
Yeah, well, she's a special kid. Sometimes when you meet them in the recruiting process, when they get around you, you can really kind of feel that out. And she's one that has really always been able to think outside of herself. So she's certainly driving to be the best that she can be, but she's always looking how to bring others along. Always thinking of others, thinking how she can help, and that is, a huge part of leadership, right? And so that, she was just easy to recognize that early on and right away. She's vocal. She's not afraid to be vocal. So it's been fun to see her be able to jump into this role. Certainly that's a pretty young age. A lot of times I don't know that we've had anybody really be a captain for us and this much of a leader as a sophomore. So certainly this will be a little bit of a learning year for her, and there's going to be some ups and downs, but when you really think about then what that's going to allow her to be as a senior, we're really excited about her kind of having the reins to this team and this program for the next 3 years.
When I talked to her, she said that she feels like she's improved best with her shooting so far this year, and she was definitely pass first last year. It sounds like she's still definitely thinking, pass first or distribute. She's distribute minded. I guess is that the best way to utilize her, and is that the best thing she brings to the floor, or what's her value on the floor to this team?
she brings so much to the floor. Her value is immeasurable when she's on the floor. Certainly, we want her to take open shots. She's a fantastic passer. She can get people open in a lot of different situations. So she's like, I don't know if you watched Sam Logic when she played for us, a while back, but she would sometimes get herself in a position where, like, oh, you think she's kind of in trouble, and then she makes a beautiful pass, finds someone for a layup. And Taylor's just always had that ability. But she's physical on defense. She, has great anticipation, can make some plays there. She'll get an offensive rebound, and she plays with that joy and that passion that is really, really big for our fan base. And so that's also infectious to the rest of our team. When she gets a big stop or makes something happen, everybody jumps along with her. So she's a lot for us as far as X's and O's go, but then her energy and her confidence and just her ability to kind of keep everyone together on the floor is also a really big deal.
And do you recall when you could tell that she was, going to be kind of different in terms of her character and her ability as a glue person and as a vocal leader?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think just kind of like I said, she just is one of those kids that first couple days of practice, just your communication and the way she's listening, when you're giving a scouting report, when Coach Jay's talking, you can see the body language and the way she's dialed in and just the passion that she brings to it every single day. So I can't remember a specific moment necessarily. I know that when she went through a little bit of an injury earlier in this year, we certainly missed a lot about having her on the floor. Getting her back this last week has been a big jump for our entire team to have her on the floor.